Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Trendy Spotlight. 8. Encouraging Robb to fight. Having lapsed into grief after the death of his father, Robb Stark destroyed his sword by aimlessly hacking at a tree. Yet after finding her son angrily mourning Ned, Catelyn held him and agreed that they would kill every single Lannister, while Cersei held Joffrey close and encouraged him to avoid the battlefield and avoid inciting the wrath of the North. Catelyn was perfectly happy to test the Lannisters. The circumstances may have been very different, but Catelyn was perfectly happy to continue to escalate the war at any cost. 7. Traveling to King's Landing for Ned. After an assassin attacked her comatose son, Catelyn felt the urge to travel across the entirety of the Seven Kingdoms alone, just to inform Ned. Considering how many loyal men they had, there was no reason for her to travel so far, but she was still perfectly willing to do it without anyone at her side. Although Cersei preferred to stay in the relatives' safety in King's Landing beside her children, Catelyn wasn't afraid, and she didn't see the need for an official retinue. While one Stark loyalist offered to come along, Catelyn was perfectly happy to cross the King's Road alone because she was utterly fearless. Number 6. Catelyn fought off an assassin. Where Cersei had loyal guards willing to give their lives for her, Catelyn was a loyal mother willing to give her life for her sons. After all, when the assassin moved to attack her son, Catelyn threw herself on top of him and fought the assassin with her bare hands. Catelyn wasn't even afraid to hold on to the knife for dear life. The assassin hadn't even been trying to kill her, but Catelyn didn't care. Had Summer not been there, it's likely she and Bran both have died because she threw herself in the way of a boy who may not have been survived without the assassin there. Number 5. Abandoning Rickon and Bran. While Cersei was allowed to leave her children, Catelyn was willing to do it for their sakes. After all, after deciding to travel to King's Landing, Catelyn never actually returned for her two youngest sons. Instead, she kidnapped Tyrion Lannister, went to Robb's side, and stayed there until her death. Catelyn can be summed up as a woman who was trying her best for all her children. She simply felt that Robb needed her most while Bran and Rickon didn't. Still, it was scary behavior as a mother who was desperately needed by Bran and Rickon. Number 4. Capturing Tyrion and starting a war. To avenge the attack on Bran, Catelyn kidnapped Tyrion Lannister and started the War of the Five Kings. It was one of the dumbest decisions in Game of Thrones, and it directly led to the death of her son Robb and the death of Ned Stark. Acting without any authority, she did it just to make sure that no one would ever attack her sons again. Considering how many people died because of her decision, it was certainly scary behavior. Although Cersei may have blown up the Sept of Baelor, the consequences of Catelyn kidnapping Tyrion reverberated even farther. In trying to avenge her son, Catelyn damned another son. Number 3. Praying for Jon's death. When Ned returned from Robert's rebellion against the Mad King, he brought with him a little baby boy named Jon Snow, claiming the boy as his own bastard. Ned's choice to bring the boy back to Winterfell completely shamed Catelyn and made her entirely resent Jon. In fact, Catelyn later admitted that she even prayed that Jon would die of a fever. It was incredibly cruel behavior that proved that she was one of Jon's worst enemies. She could have simply ignored the baby, but praying for his death was a step too far. Even admitted, though she tried to repent, it showed a scary side to her that even Cersei wouldn't have stopped to. Number 2. Killing Lady Frey. After threatening that she would kill Lady Frey if Robb was not free during the Red Wedding, she was shocked to see that Walder Frey didn't care if his wife was harmed. With no leverage and after watching Robb's murder, she cut Lady Frey's throat before dying herself. It was completely unnecessary and was one of the most upsetting moments in the Red Wedding. While Catelyn was clearly racked by grief, Lady Frey clearly wasn't involved in the planning and was terrified. Even Cersei didn't kill completely innocent parties. Number 1. Sending Jon to the Watch. Catelyn knew what the Night's Watch was, where Jon didn't truly know, but she was still perfectly happy to send him to a den of monsters. While it made sense that she would want him gone since he could cause a succession crisis against her own children, it was still extremely cruel and unnecessary. Catelyn could have warned Jon and then pushed to have him fostered elsewhere. Instead, she wanted him gone forever. To make matters worse, she even despised that he wanted to say goodbye to Bran. It wasn't fair to Bran or Jon, and it showed how scary a mother she could be. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.